Hello friends, I am ZoZo the board game girl with Overnight Games. Today we are going to be unboxing Queendomino 2 to 4 player games. Playtime is 25 minutes. Blue Orange Games is what it's made by. And first I will show you what's inside of the box. Second, I will show you how to play. So this is the Queendomino box with a lot of cool artwork, and now let's see what's inside. Rules. This is American rules. I don't know which place this is. Well, I don't know which language. This one I know is English, the first one, but now let's put those away for now. So, looks like castles. These are in the Queendomino too. It's kind of like, it seems kind of like an expansion to Queendomino, but it's the same exact, but it just has things in it. So, yeah. There's like, it seems like the castle's just like in Queendomino, but the 9, 3, and 1 like look like victory points, but they weren't in Queendomino. It's kind of different. Ones and threes. Next there is this, which it seems like it opens up. Let's see for the reason later. Oh, look at this cool artwork. Looks like a dragon lair, and that brings me straight to this, the dragon. I'll show you all of the cool minifigures later. So, all of these pieces just like the Queendomino. But wait, what's different? Oh, it looks like that there's these new red pieces. So that's part that's different. A huge scoreboard is really big. So that, and then looks like a whole bunch of guys and castles maybe. Okay, so to the next thing. I'll show you them later, just with the other pieces too. Next, wait. Oh, the starting tiles. Then, wonder if these go with these. Maybe they go together? Okay, so now let's show you all of the minifigures. Okay, so let's show you the pieces now. Okay, so these are kind of like knights, maybe for placing somewhere. These are your kings for placing. The orange and red look really similar, but there's white, purple, orange, and red. There's these castles. Might be placed somewhere. So, they look really cool. Then there's this dragon, which is really cool. It's like, it looks really nice. Like, perfect. And it goes in and it flies into its lair. And then next there is the queen. Tra-la-la-la-la. She's the queen who might go to you to help you. If you have the most castles, maybe, because she loves castles. Okay, so this is what the castle looks like when it's made. It kind of has this for one side, this for another side, this for another side, and then back. This is the same as that. So that's kind of what the castle is. Just that it's the different colors for the different castles, but that's pretty much all that the castle is.
Now we're going to do the setup for Queendomino. First, position the box like this. Shuffle the dominoes and then place them in the box. Make sure the gap in the lineup of the dominoes is facing away from players, meaning neither the number nor the terrain sides are visible to anyone. This will be the draw pile for the game. All dominoes will be used regardless of the number of players. Place the builder's board in the center of the table so it is accessible to all. Shuffle the 32 building tiles and place them gray face up, on the red square of the builder's board. This is the draw pile for the building tiles. Take the top 6 building tiles and place them, gray face up, on the empty spots of the builder's board. The number below each tile represents the construction cost for each building. Place the queen on the side of the board and the dragon on the cave next to the building tile's draw pile. Place the towers, coins, and knights on the side of the building's board. The piles of coins form the bank. Have each player take a single square starting tile and a castle. Have each player put the starting tile with the castle directly on it in front of them. In a 2-player game, each player then takes 2 kings of their color. In a 3 or 4-player game, 1 king of their color. But we're setting up for a 2-player game, so we're going to need 2 kings of each color, and we're going to get rid of the rest. Each player also draws 1 knight and coins that add up to the value of 7, placing these in front of them. To start, take the first 4 dominoes from the box and line them up numerically, terrain side down. They should be visible and accessible to all players. The lowest number should be at the top of the vertical line and the highest number at the bottom. Then flip them over so the terrain side is exposed. To determine the order in which players will select their first domino, one player takes all 4 kings in their hands and pulls them out one at a time. The first king to be pulled out indicates which player can select first, etc. Players select their first domino in this order, placing their king on a free domino to claim it. In a 2-player game, however, 1 king is drawn randomly. The player whose color it is places their king on the domino they wish to select.
This is me, so I choose this. And
then it is the second player's turn to place 2 kings. And finally, the first player places their second king on the remaining domino. When all 4 dominoes are claimed, select 4 new dominoes from the draw pile and again line them up numerically, terrain side down, next to those already selected. Then flip them over. Playing the game. Going forward, the playing order for a round is determined by the position of the kings in the line of already selected dominoes. The player whose king was placed on the first domino in the line, the smallest number domino, goes first. The player whose king was placed on the second domino in the line goes second, etc. Players are going to take up to 5 actions. First, add your selected domino to your kingdom according to the connection rules. Like needs to go next to like, unless you're putting it around your castle, in which case it can be connected to either side. Also, you are not going to go over a 5x5 dimension. So that is the kingdom that you are building, is a 5x5 square. If at some point you have to go over the 5x5, you're going to have to lose that tile and you're not going to be able to place it. The second is an optional action. You can have 1 or 2 knights collect tax on the domino you just placed. If you have knights available, the one given at the start of the game, or any earned through building bonuses, you may choose to collect tax right after connecting a domino to your kingdom. Take a knight, place it on the domino you just added, immediately collect a coin value equal to the number of connecting squares in the territory your knight was placed on. The knight will stay on the square until the end of the game. You may place up to 2 knights during your turn, 1 for each square on the domino you just added to your kingdom. You may place a knight on a territory where other knights have been placed in previous rounds. The next action is also optional. Construct a building on an open red construction square. You need to have at least 1 red construction square available in order to construct a building in your town. This square does not have to be on a domino that was just added. It could have been added in a previous round. To construct a building, choose a building tile that is available on the builder's board. You cannot take one from the draw pile. Pay the bank the construction price listed for the chosen building. Add this building to your kingdom on the construction square of your choice, red side up. Collect the immediate building bonuses, if any, and make sure to remember any active building bonuses for future rounds. When a building is constructed, it leaves an empty spot on the builder's board for the duration of the round. You may only place one building tile per construction square. You cannot stack up buildings. So, reading the building bonuses. The upper left corner is the immediate effect. So, for this one, place the number of towers indicated on the tile in your kingdom. As soon as your kingdom has acquired the most towers, even in the case of a tie with another player, it hosts the queen. Take the queen meeple from her current location and place it in front of you. When your kingdom hosts the queen, she lowers your construction costs by 1 coin. If you're the one to host her in your kingdom at the end of the game, you will place her on the largest territory, the territory with the most connecting terrain squares, and she will count as an extra crown. The upper right corner, crowns. A crown is a picture in the upper right corner of some of the building tiles. On both sides, at the end of the game, each of your town territories, whether you built them or not, will be worth as much as the number of connecting squares times the number of crowns on this territory. The next action, also optional, bribe the dragon into burning a building tile on the builder's board. You can only take this action if the dragon is still hiding in its cave and you are not hosting the queen. Choose any building tile that is still available on the builder's board, pay the bank 1 coin, burn down the building by removing it from the board and replacing it with the dragon. Discard the tile into the box for the remainder of the game. Only 1 player per round can use the dragon. Now this next action is mandatory. Select a new domino in the next line with your king meeple. Starting a new round. Once all of the players have taken their actions, send the dragon back to its cave. Slide the building tiles remaining on the builder's board over to the cheapest spots and then fill the empty spots with building tiles from the draw pile. Form a new line of dominoes next to those already claimed by selecting 4 new dominoes from the draw pile. Again, line them up numerically, terrain side down, next to those already selected. A new round can now start. A game takes a total of 12 rounds, regardless of the number of players, and uses all the dominoes. When the last 4 dominoes are lined up, all the players take their final turn. Each player should now have a 5x5 grid in front of them, or a 7x7 grid for a 2-player game. Some kingdoms may not be complete. Then each player will calculate their kingdom's final score in the following way, recording all points in the corresponding boxes of the score pad. Wealth is going to be 1 point for every 3 unused coins. Territories with crowns, wheat fields, forests, lakes, grasslands, swamps, mines, and towns, is going to be multiplied by the number of crowns on the terrains. It is possible to have multiple territories with the same terrain type in your kingdom and they be scored separately. Next, you're going to calculate the value of the buildings in towns. To avoid errors when calculating building bonuses, for the red town territories, pull any building tiles you constructed off the squares one by one and add up the points from the lower left-hand corner symbols as you go.
So I just played my game of Queendomino. I hope that you have fun with yours.